Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, got a few things in the news today. Some more stories are coming out about the young man, 18-year-old who jumped into the ocean on a pirate ship cruise, and now they're saying there was something in the water. It's unconfirmed, but let's talk about that. Also, we have a Carnival ship. She's having some more issues once again with speed, and passengers are going to be late getting back to port, as well as the next cruise may be greatly affected as well. And then we have the story of something you don't hear very often, where a pilot boat, that's right, the pilot boat that guides cruise ships into port and tankers in the port, collided with a fishing boat. They can guide great big 1,000-foot cruise ships and run into a 32-foot fishing boat. So people are now saying, when they look at extended footage of the young man who jumped in the water on a dare on his graduation celebration cruise on a pirate type vessel, well, they're saying they can see a figure in the water in the shape of a shark. And people are saying that area is well known for how many sharks are in that particular area. And they're saying that might be a reason that he kind of swam away from the buoy that was thrown in the water. I don't know. It was pretty darn pitch black out there at that time. I don't know exactly how much he was seeing in the ocean as far as something in the water was concerned. There's no confirmed sighting or anything. It's just they're trying to make this picture look like they saw something in the water. It could possibly be a shark. But again, there was no scream heard or shout of alarm heard, which would usually, announce an attack in the water. But who knows? People are just speculating at this point, and it's just one of those real shame tragedies that happen, and people are kind of grasping for reasons, right? And sometimes things just happen, unfortunately, in life. We also have a story of a pilot boat. That's right, the pilot boat that drives out, goes beside the cruise ships while they're still moving, and the pilot jumps from one to the ship to the other and climbs up and gets on the ship and then guides that cruise ship into the port. Well, somehow, some way, a pilot boat collided with a fishing vessel, a 32-foot fishing vessel. I think it was called the Lady Heater. I can't find a picture of it anywhere. I found a picture of a Lady Hester, but not a Lady Heater. But yeah, it apparently collided, and shortly after the collision, the fishing boat sank in the harbor, and the Army Corps of Engineers now are working at extracting that fishing vessel from the cruise port area so no other ships might collide with it or something along those lines. You don't want that to be stacking up crashes along the way. It just seems so odd that the people instructed to help drive 1,000-foot cruise ships end up in a collision with a 32-foot fishing vessel. Now, no telling of who was at fault or anything like that. There's an investigation. Everybody is fine. The pilot boat people are fine. The two fishermen that were on the boat were recovered. So it doesn't appear to be any kind of tragic story that way, other than somebody lost their fishing vessel and probably a good chunk of their livelihood, which is not a great sign. But yeah, it just goes to show you accidents can happen anywhere, and you would think if there's going to be an accident, it would be the large ship pulling into port, but no, It was a little tiny vessel and another little tiny vessel that they collided on. Crazy story. Next, we also have the Carnival Panorama. That's right, the Carnival Panorama once again. She had issues in 2021 with not being able to reach top speed. Well, she no longer is able to reach top speed again, as a letter went out to guests stating that they will have to leave their current port early, about a half hour early. Not too dramatic of a time, but they're saying that they will probably arrive back in port late as well, and this could affect the next sailings in Long Beach as well. Now, they said they're scheduled at the last letter to the crew and the members, passengers, said that they're only going to be about a half hour late getting into port. Supposed to arrive around 9 a.m. They're going to be around 9:30. However, places like Cruise Mapper and other places have started mapping the distance and the time and the speed that the cruise ship is going at, and it doesn't look like it's going to get there till 3 or 4 in the afternoon at the current speed, unless they perhaps are working on the problem on the ship and can get the ship back up to full speed by tomorrow. That means then maybe they'll be able to go up faster, and of course will arrive sooner if they can get their speed faster. But that might be a warning, because if that doesn't happen, the Panorama is set to sail, but it will leave probably much later that day, affecting the next people's cruise. And also you might want to consider checking your flights if you are on that ship, and making sure they're really late the next day, because you may be late getting back to port as well, and your itinerary may be dramatically changed if they can't get the issue fixed. Carnival says they are working on the issue and trying to solve it, but at the moment they're still under reduced speed and will get to port at the very, very least, a half hour later, if not hours later. And if you're on that next cruise, I would definitely be looking, maybe my flight at 1 o'clock in the afternoon might not be so safe if I don't get back to the port until 2 in the afternoon. So you might be considering changing your flights to a later time. And then it's a pain in the butt if your flight, you change it to like 8 o'clock at night, and then your cruise arrives on time at 7 in the morning. And then you got to figure out what to do from 8 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock at night in the cruise port, because you're just going to sit around the airport for 11 hours. It's very inconvenient, but stuff happens. Ships break down, engines break down, your car breaks down, and unfortunately we just have to roll with those punches. And yeah, let's hope they get that engine problem fixed and there's no issues on the Panorama going forward, but we'll see what time she gets back into port tomorrow. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.